brothers and sisters from the media setup. Before I can proceed to say anything this afternoon, I want to urge that we be upstanding and observe a 1-minute silence for some of our fallen heroes from the OT region, especially the former Dean of MDCs in the OT region, Honorable Francis Kofi Okesu, and some others. May his soul rest in peace. Okay, you can be seated. All right, so good afternoon once again. The OT region, as you have all come to know, was almost in the papers, as well as all television channels in 2018, when His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo, through the application and request from the people of OT region, decided that a referendum be held as the Constitution demands to see to it that 6 other new regions were created. OT actually dominated the headlines, not because we are so special, but we are very unique and peculiar. And at the forefront of this battle was the Krachura, Nana Mpra, who was the chairperson for the Joint Consultative Committee, JCC, and other able-bodied persons who supported him, and the referendum went through successfully. His support to the region didn't end there. He was handsomely rewarded by the people of OT region, the traditional setup, when he was elected as the president of the OT Regional House of Chiefs. And as the president of the Regional House of Chiefs, there's something very remarkable about him. Whenever he's traveling out of the region, the RCC was always aware, and whenever he's coming in, and whenever there are some disturbances in the traditional setup, he quickly came in to help. So OT region has enjoyed a lot of support from our traditional setup under the leadership of the Krachura. For those of you who may be wondering where OT is as far as Ghana is concerned, we are a region that shares boundaries with some other regions as well as other countries in West Africa. We are bounded by the, Republic of Togo to the east, and then if you go to the northern part of OT region, it's our brothers in the northern region, and then Savannah to the far end. Then you come to the southern sector, our colonial masters, under the leadership of Dr. Lecha, my very good friend, shares boundaries with us. And then we also share boundaries with the Bono East region, as I already indicated. So that is it. And if you are from Accra, you can enter the OT region through the Hokwe route, where the gateway to OT is Santro Kofi. And when you decide to use the Kwando route, then the gateway to OT is after Agbono, where that's Biakoye district, and Konya, where their regional capital, district capital is. We have 9 assemblies with 8 constituencies, because for us as a government, the creation of district assemblies is a mandate within the purview of the government. So when OT was created, and then the Santro Kofi, Akpafu, and the Lulubi area, Lipe was left out, the president, through the Ministry of Local Government, ensured that a district was created. It is currently headed by a very beautiful young lady, MFA, as our DC. So that is how we have 9 district assemblies. As you can see from the presentation, I'm coming to talk about the infrastructure development in the OT region. We also talk about the social development in the OT region, and we look at the economic development. Briefly, the infrastructure development, we'll be looking at the road network. Then we'll also look at the governance setup and other infrastructure needs of the region. So as you can see, in terms of the road network, the statistics are available that will be made available to the media. But I just want to take you back when His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo was on his campaign tour. He made a remark in in Hohoe, where he described his journey from Hohoe to Jasikan as a boom, 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 boom. And surely that was it. For those of us who come from the OT area, you know that by 2016, it was difficult. If you have to access Jasikan from Hohoe, you either have to go through Lulubi, Tetema, and join Jasikan from the other side, or if you decide to go through the main road, you have to even veer off through some cemetery at Santro Kofi, and it was not easy. Vehicles got stuck there several days. But today, as I speak to you, I'm glad to tell you that under the leadership of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akuffo Addo and their agenda of Year of Roads, it can take you now a maximum of 15 minutes to move from Hohoe to Jasikan. That road was done by road leader, and I think that is one of the major hallmarks as far as the road infrastructure is concerned. Then just after the Jasikan roundabout, those of us who want to travel to the Nkwanta South municipality was that stretch of the road that has almost gone bad between Jasikan and Dodipepesu. And then the same program, the Year of Roads, saw a contractor, Sino Hydro, under the flagship program that His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, I remember those days when he went to China and came back and we were talking about the Sino Hydro package. Some people were saying that it was never going to work, it was not possible, they have never seen anything like that. But today for us in the OT region, we can see in terms of tangibles, the road from Jasikan roundabout to Dodipepesu. That is one of the asphaltic roads in the OT region under the Sino Hydro, which the Vice President commissioned about a month ago. Then again, those who were entering OT region through the Pando stretch, you get to Nkonya Rupon towards Pando, and it was very bad. Towards Kwame Krum, it was very bad. Cars got stuck there and spent so many days. Under the Year of Roads, we got a contractor, First Skies, to rehabilitate that road. And today we can talk about what? A road without any pothole from Kwame Krum through Nkonya Rupon. And so I always tell people that if you are coming to OT region, and in terms of road network, our biggest challenge are the roads maybe either they are found in Volta region or they are found in the Eastern region. But when you get to where OT region starts, to the OT regional capital, you can sleep comfortably as your driver drives you through. We hosted the Indian High Commissioner about 2 weeks ago, and he was so much impressed about the road network. Then when you get to the regional capital of OT Dambai, then you go across it, then we have the the road starting from the riverside through to Ketekrachi, and then when you get to the Nandi Junction through to Buya, the phase 2 of that road was also done successfully under the Year of Roads. We have some other roads that are the federal road sector. We have done some rehabilitation of some roads. The continuous upgrading is done. Some are also being constructed. You can find them in my presentation as I make them available to the media. But in terms of urban roads, when you go to Krachi West Municipality, you can see the work that is going on. When you come to Krachi East Municipality, that's the regional capital, Dambai, you can see that unlike those days when it was even almost impossible to be able to move from one part of the municipality to the other within the same town. Now we have city constructions. Even though the work is ongoing, the contractors had to go on a break for us to do some documentation, and then when it came, I did what I'm supposed to do. The Ministry of Roads and Highways has also done what they can do. However, the contractor gave an excuse that as at the time that the signing was done, time to revise the contract. It was raining and the borrowed fees were muddy. They cannot come and start working on the assurance. However, is that they are coming back with full force to start work this October. We just pray that the rains, we are not saying they are too much, but for the sake of our rules in town, if they can come down small and we have the relevant weather. It's the same contractor that is doing the, what they call the Dambai in Kwanta stretch. That is why it has also what? Stalled. So if you look at our trunk roads, a lot has gone into it. I can say that the trunk roads in OT region, every portion of the road, there's a contractor on it. It's either completed or yet to be completed. One of our trouble zones has to do with the Nkwanta, the Pasa stretch. That is being done by a Chinese company. The contractor has actually spent a lot of time on that route. Some of us feel that, yes, despite all other challenges, I think a lot needs to be done by the contractor. And we have initiated some kind of talks with relevant authority to see it's either he sits up or if he's not able to continue, he gives way for some other people to come in. Having spoken about the rules, I have a lot of them in the slides, but I think for the sake of other aspects of the presentation, we should move on. Governance and administration. It is expected that a region that was created, you all know how the OT area of the Volta region used to be those days. In terms of infrastructure, even our assemblies were struggling for where to be accommodated. So there was a need to ensure that some basic facilities were set up. So if you come to the regional capital now, we have the regional coordinating council that is going on. It is about 80% complete. And I strongly believe that, and I can say on authority, if it has to do with funding, I can say government does not owe the contractor a penny. It is only his lackadaisical attitude that is keeping the work.
Please subscribe to Morris TVGH.